everyone, welcome back. My name is Steff for anyone who's new here, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be telling you the 5 things that I wish I knew before traveling to Venice. Now, I've been to Venice 3 times now, but this was my first time actually staying in Venice for a few days. The other times, it was day trips. So now that I've actually stayed in Venice for like 3-4 days, here's my advice to you so that you can have a stress-free time in a very stressful area. First thing off the bat, the pickpocketing is real. I know we've all seen the TikToks of that woman, and I really wanted to bump into her, but I didn't. But the pickpocketing is real. I was almost pickpocketed in the train station. Keep your things near you. Keep everything at an arm's length. Get some anti-theft devices for your things because it's not a scam. It's the truth. I actually have a video. I recorded everything, and I think she knew that I was recording. And I'll put the video here so that you guys can see it. But essentially what was happening is that we arrived really early to our train, and we're just standing on the side, not in the way, waiting for our train to come. And there was a lot of space around us. And so we're just standing there, waiting, doing nothing. And we very obviously look like American tourists with how we're dressed and the amount of bags that we had and all that fun stuff. We're just standing there, waiting for our train. And there's a lot of space around. The train stations are very big. They're not small. And this girl, very young girl, maybe 18 years old, dressed very normally, but very noticeably was a native Italian. She has a tote bag, as many of them do. And she walks and stands literally right here. Like I could have licked her hair right here. And she is just standing there with her arms crossed, like almost bumping elbows. And if she was actually waiting for a train, she could have stood literally maybe this much away from me. No, she stood right here, not exaggerating, because I'll show you the video. And she was just waiting for me to stop paying attention to what was going on, or just turn to someone, to my husband, and start talking so that she could stick her hand somewhere to grab something. And I was a little obnoxious about it. I was filming her. I was laughing. I was like pointing my husband, and I was like, let me get this girl on tape. Like, go ahead and try to go ahead and pickpocket me. And she started like fidgeting with her hair, you know, looking at nothing, not even on a phone, not scrolling, nothing like that, just standing and waiting for me to be unaware, which I wasn't. And then I guess she stayed a decent amount of time, and then realized that she wasn't going to get anything out of me and just walked away. And I think I watched her. I'm pretty sure she walked just like out of the train station. Whereas if you were actually waiting for a train, you would have stayed. The next thing is probably the best piece of advice, which may sound silly to you guys, but we thought we could do this on our own and save a little bit of money. But don't do it. When you get out of the train station and you arrive in Venice, wherever your hotel is, in whatever part of Venice, don't try to go there on your own. Unless all you're carrying is a backpack or a little tote bag, pay for the water taxi. We were like, oh, we just have to take this ferry and it's a 9-minute walk. We could do that. No, absolutely not. It put such a damper on our experience. We didn't know there's ferry A, B, C. It was hard to figure out which one we needed to take. Google Maps wasn't helping because it was like, you could take this one to this one to that one. It was confusing. And then the 9-minute walk, I can't even get into it. It was, the streets are just so narrow and it's so crowded and so hot. It's just not worth it. It is worth every penny to just walk straight to the canal. Hey, take me to this hotel, and they just boat ride you there. Like I said, if you're pack light and all you have is like a backpack, you could ferry it up all you want. It's like €4 to take the ferry. But taking all of our luggage from that ferry, first of all, they pack up the ferry. So let your sardines like this, like think of a New York City subway during rush hour with a bunch of luggages. So we thought that we could do it. We learned we cannot. And on the way back, we paid for a water taxi to take us there. And it saved so much time and it saved so much mental clarity and just made the experience so much more enjoyable. Like so much so. So just pay whatever it is to get you there. I promise it's gonna be worth it. Something to keep in mind when you're in Piazza San Marco is the birds. Yes, I know that Piazza is known for having a lot of birds. This also seems like it would be common sense, but just keep in mind that the second they see food in and around you, they will immediately take it out of your hand. I went and got a cornetto from whatever was literally right there across the street from the church. Just wanted to shove it down my throat because I was really hungry. Grabbed it. I went to go like this to take a quick photo before eating it, right? I have the photo. I'll post it. I went like this, and immediately a bird dove down, scratched my finger, took it out of my hand, and flew away. I didn't even have time. There was no time. I don't have it on. I wish I got, like, it was just when I took the photo, it was like immediately after, but it's not like I was there, like posing for 5 minutes, whatever. It was immediate. The second I took it out of the bag and went like this, gone out of my hand. And it actually cut my hand where I bled. So I had to go to a pharmacy and get like disinfectant because I didn't know if I was getting like bird disease of some sort. But now that I think back, the guy in front of me got the same croissant as me and just immediately stuffed it in his mouth before he stepped outside. And I was like, why did he do that? He must have been really hungry. Like me as a tourist being like, let me take a picture of my croissant, blah, blah, blah. No, there was no time to waste. Just immediately eat it. Don't try and do anything. Don't try to like keep food, snacks out near you. Not in that piazza. Anywhere else, sure. There, don't do it. Something else that we did that was really, really helpful was when we wanted to explore and do some excursions, we ended up just asking for recommendations through our hotel. And that's really the best way that you're not going to get scammed, because they're only going to recommend you places or set things up for you if they have concierge service that are with places that they're familiar with, and they are never going to steer you in the wrong direction. So if you are new to going to Venice or anything, and you're just not sure if Get Your Guide is a scam or all those other websites where it's like they overcharge you for this tour and everything, just ask your hotel, hey, do you have any recommendations? Do you know this? Do you know that? And they're going to point you in the right direction, or they're just going to set it all up for you. We were just so lucky that where we stayed offered tours within itself. So that was really easy for us. We didn't have to go anywhere to meet. We just had to go to the lobby and go from there. So definitely ask your hotel ahead of time for any questions that you have, instead of just going off of recommendations from people you don't know or doing your own Google research, because websites look really legit when they're not. And you don't want to lose money that way, because you have to pay for that water taxi when you get there. It's going to cost you like €100. So be smart. What's also super handy, if you do that, you might be able to charge the excursion to your room and pay for it at the end of your bill, where you should be putting it on your travel credit card and then getting even more points on that. See? Always trying to maximize the points to pay for the next vacation. All right, the last thing that I wish I knew before going to Venice is to plan my day based on the amount of walking that each thing is. So there's no local transportation. It is not like, oh, I could walk, but like I'd rather take a cab. Or you're on day 4 and you're just like fed up, but you have these reservations at this place. Keep in mind how far everything is. And just also keep in mind that a 20-minute walk wherever you live is different than a 20-minute walk in Italy. In the heat, it's very crowded in Venice. It's very hot during the summer if that's when you're traveling. And there's a lot of bridges and a lot of stairs and a lot of cobblestone. So you have to factor all of that in. Maybe give yourself an extra 5 to 10 minutes to even just figure out where you need to go, because it may be a 15-minute straight shot for someone who knows where they're going, but for someone who doesn't, it could take a really long time. Just so that when you're traveling, you're not going 30 minutes this way and this way. Oh, but this just so happened to be near that one. Maybe we should have done this to this. And I know everything is walkable, but you don't want to be going like this when you don't have to. So when you're planning your itinerary, I highly recommend you plan it based on how close everything is to each other in a way that makes sense, so that you're saving your energy and utilizing the walking in the most useful way possible. And that you're not going, this restaurant's 20 minutes that way, and then, oh, we have to go here for this tour, and then we have to meet here. And it's just would have really saved us if we did it. It would have really been helpful if I took more of the walking into account. I was just gonna be like, all right, we're just walking, and it is what it is, and I'll just worry about my feet after. I have my fan, I have my blister stuff, all that I was prepared for. But I think it would have been more efficient if I planned each day based on doing things that were closest to each other, that made sense, kind of thing. Like maybe do the furthest things first where you have the most energy, and save the more local close things to your hotel for later on. So that is definitely something to keep in mind when you're booking your trip. And those are the 5 things I wish I knew before traveling to Venice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, comment, and don't forget my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and watch that video. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I have a website and a Facebook group that you can join, where we can all be together and be jet setters and just talk about and help each other out on how to explore and do vacations without being super stressed, because that's how I like to do things. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you later. Bye.